Greetings, arm wrestling world. This is Matthew. Take a look at my hairline. All right, take it in. Okay, got that out of your system? Say hello to Monty. He's still training for Levon. Show him your support. Like and subscribe. So, slap fighting does not belong in the conversation with arm wrestling. It is not a combat sport. And I'm going to start with that. It is not a combat sport, and I'm going to explain why. Check it out. It's the dictionary. Combat: a fight or contest between individuals or groups. Conflict, controversy, active fighting in a war. Combated, or to fight, to battle, to struggle against, strive to reduce or eliminate, relating to combat. Yeah. So now let's look at conflict, because conflict was in the definition of combat. All right, fight, battle, war, armed conflict. Competitive or opposing action of incompatibles, antagonistic state or action, as of divergent ideas, interests, or persons. Mental struggle resulting from incompatible or opposing needs, drives, wishes, or external or internal demands. The opposition of persons or forces that gives rise to the dramatic action in a drama or fiction. All right, so we have things like conflict, we have things like struggle, we have things like opposing, competitive, antagonistic, conflict. Okay, back to me. What do all of those words have in common? They imply two forces clashing, okay? Two forces pitted against each other, trying to get something from each other, trying to stop each other, okay? Slap fighting does not have that. It's one guy winding up and going BAM against a passive victim who can do nothing to defend himself except, in preparation for the match, train his neck, and during the match, try to use the muscles in his neck and face to roll with the slap as best as he can. And then we switch to the guy who just got concussed, and he does the same thing to the other guy. There is no active fight. There is no struggle. There is one attacker and one victim, and then they switch. Slap fighting is no more a combat sport than a dude kicking the shit out of another dude in a dark alley and then lying down on the ground and saying, okay, now your turn, do it to me. The element of conflict, actual conflict, in slap fighting is very, very minimal. And I would argue that the element of combat in slap fighting is also minimal, if existent at all. And therefore, I can't really treat slap fighting as a combat sport. It is really more of a spectacle. It exploits the idea that a man could be knocked out from a slap, that a man could get brain damage from a slap. And we can't pretend that's not what it's about. We can't pretend that's not why people are watching. Okay, in boxing, you're not just watching boxing to watch a guy get knocked out, to watch a guy get fucked up and injured for the rest of his life. You're watching that match because it's technically interesting, because it's dynamic. You're watching these two powerful forces go at it. And it's beautiful. It's an art form. It's a science. It's a whole world. You cannot by any means compare something like boxing, or even arguably simpler combat sports like arm wrestling, to something like fucking slap fighting, okay? And slap fighting does not belong in the conversation with arm wrestling at all. I don't think it is true that if you get an offer for a slap fight as an arm wrestler, you need to take it. I don't think you need that money as much as you need this for the rest of your life. I don't think you need that money as much as your family needs you healthy. So I do not recommend it for any arm wrestler, and I don't recommend it for anybody at all. Even if Dana White runs it, even if Eddie Hall can get you some big connection, it doesn't fucking matter. Don't slap fight. Don't promote slap fighting. Bury slap fighting. Make it not exist. Okay? And my word, arm wrestling is already seen as enough of an unskilled spectacle sport as it is. To the uninitiated, an arm wrestling match is just two big brutes going at a table. They don't know what goes into it. But slap fighting is a sport where legitimately almost nothing goes into it, and arm wrestling is being lumped in with this shit. I went to a local card shop the other day and I asked if they had any arm wrestling cards, because I just thought it would be a fun question. Like, you don't really see arm wrestling cards being carried. But the guy said, no, we don't. Hey, have you heard of slap fighting? There it is. That's what happens when you bring up arm wrestling. People think it's on the level of slap fighting, which it absolutely is not. And the more slap fights arm wrestlers take, the more arm wrestling is going to be dragged down to that level, and the less seriously people will take it, and the fewer people will be interested in watching arm wrestling when it comes on in big promotions like East versus West and maybe someday the Paralympics. Because believe it or not, the general population isn't interested in stuff like slap fighting. That's actually a smaller subset of people that watch stuff like that. That's a weird group of people. You know, most people, they think of slap fighting and they're like, exactly, that's how we should all react to it. And we should have higher standards. We should set our standards at, well, where arm wrestling's at, where boxing is at, where MMA is at, you know? You get what I'm dropping here? We have to think about the future of the sport. We have to think about the long term, not just these short-term tendies. Not just these, quick little connections we can make. These quick little promotions we can kindle up. You know, that's not what we're doing here. So I hope you understand, and I hope we as an arm wrestling community can just get on the same fucking page with this shit and stop encouraging slap fighting. Thank you. That's all. This guy might be pretty good at it, though.